hard booty? I mean, I don't, what?
Team has done a great job to make sure they were erased. Well, even though Jamie Foxx refuses to admit that he and Diddy hosted naked basketball games, he has said in the past that they hosted wild parties.
I remember watching Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel and filming this, and it's a pool party that is ridiculous, man. And I look up and I see Dr. Ruth. I don't know if you know who that is. The sex lady.
I mean, apparently HSI is leaking out a lot of information, and you're right. It looks like there's a very significant sex trafficking, human trafficking investigation underway, and it looks like it's coming out of the HSI Division of International Organized Crime, or something along those lines. So it looks pretty significant. Got 2 major search warrants, a lot of process around those search warrants, a lot of kitted out tactical people raiding those 2 locations.
Women alleging that he drugged them, and et cetera, and so on. My questioning: where does the trafficking come in there? What is it that we need to constitute human trafficking, sex trafficking, et cetera?
Yeah, that's a great question, because it looks like some of these lawsuits are sort of personal lawsuits, sexual assaults, sort of one-off. So to make human trafficking or make a human trafficking violation under federal law, you have to be taking women against their will and forcing them to commit sexual acts. Query whether there are underage women involved in this investigation. That would make it even more serious if underage women or men are being forced to commit sexual acts, crossing state lines, crossing international boundaries. And also a question mark is, what does this tie into an organized crime group, a human trafficking organization?
They don't know, don't drink after a nigga. They don't know a nigga going.
They don't know this
now, look,
that apply.
Look, I'm gonna tell you straight, because I ain't really trying to put niggas out there, right? But a nigga in the studio, we from the hood. I used to stick niggas up, bro. Babyface, I used to book niggas. So I'm always on point, bro.
Facts.
I'm on point right now, my nigga.
Facts.
Always on my square. But a nigga that's a square, he don't know.
Yeah.
So he don't know watch your drink. He don't know. So now he drink behind a nigga. He get drugged. They raped this nigga, videotape it. Then when he in the meeting, they give him a shitty contract. They play the video of him getting by like 3 niggas. He ain't never been doing shit like that. So he like, man, what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna sign. And you gonna give me money? So rather than get that story put out, he gonna sign that bad contract, which is the 360 deal. He gonna take that advance, which is recuperable anyway. So they gonna give him the money just to take back and own the rights to his shit.
Motherfucker, I am a monkey. I be digging in my ass. Motherfucker, for 10 million. Motherfucker, I am a monkey. I paint my whole ass pink.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, you fellow believers of this faith, even if you sisters, and shalom to the elect. So anyway, they call us Hebrew Israelites the H group. They say that we teach against people's prosperity, people's religion and beliefs, and we can clearly see that we're showing the truth, right? We can clearly see we're showing the truth. This P. Diddy had Thomas Dexter Jakes, T.D. Jakes, allegedly in the parties as well, and various others, Steve Harvey, who is also a so-called Christian, right? And if you link these particular people from different walks of life to this man, then you understand that not only the rappers, but the bishops and the preachers and the Christians all fall to this doctrine. This is why we teach for us to get right first, starting with the elect, let me say that. But to some that may not know, we're just trying to reach the elect of our people. But in a broad span, go to the nations and teach them this is not the behavior to be in. Our enemy has the one showed us to live this type of lifestyle. Our enemy has pushed this on us. Now, they say we separate our beliefs through religion, but everybody else, in a sort of sense, have their own religion, have their own beliefs, and already had a head start. We were the only people, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, Negroes, Native Americans, was the only people destroyed to the point, as Jeremiah 17:4 says, we have lost our total heritage, our home, our identity. In fact, when the so-called emancipation, which means transfer of rulership, they brought vagrancy laws once the so-called slaves was free, and then when they put them on the street, right, they got locked. They passed laws to lock them back up, to put them in the chain game in the prisons, just another form of slavery. And now you can understand why people in the condition they are in now. All this you see heading on up to P. Diddy, or P. Nipples, because Diddy just actually means nipples, goes all the way back to slavery, right? And they've been doing that even before then, right? Where they've joined these fraternities, the boule, right? And normally they would have tears set up over them. If anybody don't know what tears is, that's a so-called white man with black skin. Meaning, if a so-called white man, Edom, laid down with a so-called black woman, that baby come out as the seed of the father. And they would set them up. And then over time, they would, they allow our own people to run these industries. This is why the church and the entertainment business is all one connection. They all together. So it's just not P. Diddy or P. Nipples doing this. This is T.D. Jakes. You've seen Creflo Dollar has to be in there. What's this man named Eddie Long, right? Those are the ones that just got caught. These are all brotherhood, Steve Harvey, I didn't put the clip in there. I didn't want to do that. He said he'll paint his whole ass pink for $1 million. Let's get Matthew 16:26. So nobody has the answers. I talked to some Jake yesterday. He was talking about he's got drunk driving charges. He's got a blow in the breathalyzer. His wife is messing around on him. He's got all kinds of things going on. And he's saying, we talk about the Bible, and the Bible's man-made, and they gave it to us to enslave us. And the answer is right there. Understanding if the Bible was man-made, then they wouldn't have had to take anything out of it to give to us, right? They would have just man-made it and created it themselves and gave it to us. But no, they took stuff out of the Bible, which means the Bible was authentic. But he wants to read the Egyptian stuff. Well, guess what? Everything's happening to you goes back to Egypt and Sodom. So have fun. You ain't going to never get it. It's only for a few. So let's go to Matthew 16:26. Matthew 16:26. It says, I don't have many scriptures. For what a man profiteth if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Well, nobody owns their soul. The Heavenly Father owns that. So you can't sell it. You can't lose it. He owns it, right? So really this is going into your own life. For what should a man give in exchange for his life? That's what it's talking about. It says soul, right? So and we know what he gave in exchange for his soul. Everything else, all for the money. That rapper, The Game, I remember him. He was talking about, I'm against the moles, man. This is all messed up. If they want to do that, let them do that. I ain't with that madness. Well, we just found out that P. Diddy was taking him on shopping sprees too. Anytime a man is taking you out on shopping sprees, and when they take you on these shopping sprees, look at these rappers. Look at the stuff that they're wearing. They're putting value into those flame old clothes. That's what they're doing. They got them wearing pink type of tight short shorts with fairy Uggs, those fairy boot type slippers in the bag. They're really dressing them like that. But they're putting value on it so people will buy it. right? Nobody in my family buying that crap, at least not around me. I better not see it, you know? Now, some of it you can't help. I mean, that's what it is, the tire, the clothes. That's why we need Yahweh Shah to save us. But this man is being exposed. All right, let's go to Isaiah 47:1. This is the scripture I wanted to get. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, which we know is Edom today. The ones that run the industry and running everything, right? I don't understand why they not in the A and the D and the L league when all that's being promoted is rap, destroying, killing of a nation of our people. Hell, the Bloods and Crips should be in the A and the D and the L. But see how this place are linking us to certain racism, but when you look at it, is racism inside of so-called racism. Isn't Bloods and Crips a form of racist against one another? But these are the same people that says we want to obliviate racism, but they're the ones still promoting racism. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So then now, as long as the Bloods and Crips are you shooting and killing each other, we can't put you in the anti-such league and the anti-that league because it's your own people. As long as you kill each other, it's fine with us. That's why we'll create Black Lives Matter. But anyway, take the millstones and grind meal and uncover thy locks, and that's what we're doing. Make bare the leg, uncover the high pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. The whole purpose and plan is to get rid of all you jakes, man. It's no secret they letting everybody cross the borders, and you going into your neighborhoods. You got other, nations of people up in there. And they even using Issachar and so forth. They're just going to be the next tier of breeders, to come up and do the same thing. And then with technology and so forth and so on, they just slowly rubbing you Jake out, right? And with this music, they push that energy and they put that spirit in the music, and then it comes to you. And then you start behaving like that. This is why when we see P. Diddy back 20 years ago, and he was dancing, and he was wearing him and Mace, which Mace exposed them to. But they all into it. There's a lot of them, Jamie Foxx, they all exposing. But guess what? They all was compromised too. And it ain't just women. I guarantee it's probably more men. But the media won't push men getting, dogged out like that. It's more so the protection of the woman. Anyway, let's go to Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery, the prey departeth not. Verse 4, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth her nations through the whoredoms and the families through her witchcrafts. And everybody, as long as we talk about our own people and say the wickedness of what everybody's doing, but then there's people who will say, like Charleston White, the powers that be. I have no idea why everybody says that. Maybe they're afraid to say who it really is, right? As Kanye did say, all you got to do is look who's owning the labels and owning the entertainment and owning the media and owning everything that you see. Even the J-Tube, right? Not YouTube, the J-Tube. Then you will see. Proverbs 29 says, if the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Shouldn't the people that run and own everything be pushing things to help the people, to uplift the people, to live right by each other? But what they do is push total division and total separation. You can throw crumbs on the ground, and there's flocks of birds, and they only deal with one another. The other birds won't. You only see certain groups of birds hang together and do certain things. The animals the same way. But the society, through as Daniel H. say, through peace they shall destroy many, making it sound like, okay, it's better to do this. Everybody should be free. You know, freedom breeds slavery. Sounds crazy, but when you're able to do whatever you want to do, you put yourself in a compromising position where morally you're not thinking right and you're doing things against nature. And that's exactly what happens. Telling Eve she can do what she wants. She's the head of the home. She can do what she wants. You don't need a man. I can do what I want with myself and whatever this or that. It only brings her more into bondage because there's no head. But hey, that's what it is. Romans 1:26. For this cause Yahweh gave them up to a vile affection, for even their women did change the natural use of that which against nature, and likewise the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn into their lust one towards another. This is what it says. Jake with Jake, let me just say that. Working that which is unseemly and receiving to themselves that recompense of that error which is meet with swift destruction. So it's our job as Israelites to bring the truth out. And although they hate us for trying to help out, the hate comes in. The reason why we're not liked, because it's about uplifting. See, anything contrary to uplifting the people, and we say starting with the elect, but I'm saying in general, to uplift us, they don't want that. They want you screwed up. In other words, you have to uplift yourself along with everybody else who's already uplifted, and they got the upper hand to reach in and have a part of your uplifting so they can further destroy you. That's what the Black Lives Matter was about. They only use that situation so they can have an excuse to separate themselves from everybody else by saying, look, we gave you Martin Luther King. We gave you the Black Lives Matter. We even funded it. So when something happens with them or anybody else, now they can separate themselves. But we're the ones that needed the Black Lives Matter, so to speak, and the so-called Black Civil Rights Movement. We're the ones needed that. So how will we ever get ahead if everything we do is funded? How are we supposed to get ahead if we're not funding it ourselves? This proves whoever owns the money funds everything. And if they fund everything, they control the opposition. They control both sides of the coin. But nobody's seeing that. The only savior that we have is Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. He has to come back and deliver us. Because you really think those people really going to give up their money to build themselves back, to build you up and let you get ahead of them? Although we are coming up. But they're not doing that. That's all I have on that. Shalom.